Today, we're going to talk about something that's quietly draining your most valuable resource, maybe without you even realizing it. We're going to unpack this really powerful idea called the invisible tax on your time.
So let me just kick things off with a question that, honestly, it completely stopped me in my tracks. Are you paying a massive hidden tax every single day? And no, I'm not talking about the government. This is something that will never, ever show up on a bank statement.
Just think about it for a second. Have you ever driven clear across town just to save, 50 cents on gas? Or maybe you've stood in a crazy long line, sweating, just to get a free t-shirt or something? Yeah, we've all been there. But what our source material points out is that these little decisions, they come with a really steep hidden cost.
And that right there brings us to the core idea of what we're talking about today, the invisible tax. It's a tax you are voluntarily paying on your time. And believe me, it is costing you your most valuable, non-renewable resource.
So what is it exactly? Well, it's the price you pay every single time you trade your actual life, your hours, your minutes, for these tiny, insignificant financial savings. It's a trade where, in the end, you always lose.
Okay, let's put some actual numbers on this. When you spend 60 minutes of your one and only life to save 60 cents, you've pretty much told yourself, and the universe really, that an hour of your life is worth, well, exactly that, just 60 cents.
Now check out this contrast. On the total opposite end of the spectrum, the wealthy are looking for ways to make their time worth thousands of dollars an hour. I mean, that difference in mindset is absolutely staggering, and it's the foundation for everything we're about to get into.
So why do so many of us fall into this trap of, just completely undervaluing our time? Well, it really boils down to a fundamental mix-up between two key ideas: effort versus results.
Let's break this down a bit. See, when you get paid for your time, your income is always capped by the clock. There are only so many hours in a day, right? But when you get paid for your results, for the value you actually deliver, your income potential becomes basically unlimited. It's the difference between being in a cage and having a launch pad.
So here's the crucial point. And honestly, this can be a tough pill to swallow. The world doesn't really care how much effort you put in. The market, your clients, your audience, they reward one thing and one thing only: results.
I mean, here's a perfect example from right now. You click on a YouTube video. If it's boring or if it's just not helpful, do you stick around because, hey, the creator might have spent 100 hours on it? Of course not. You click away in like 10 seconds. That's the market rewarding results, not your effort.
Now, let's look at how this whole mindset can build into a really common problem that snares even the most ambitious people out there. Our source calls it the technician trap. This one's for anyone who's ever dreamed of being their own boss. The technician trap is what happens when that dream of freedom just completely backfires. You end up working harder and longer than you ever did for anyone else, becoming a prisoner of the very thing you created to set you free.
And here's exactly how it happens. It starts with that amazing dream of freedom. But then you get stuck in what's called the technician mindset. You're the one doing everything yourself. Suddenly, you're not just the expert. You're also the accountant, the marketer, the janitor, you name it. And what's the result? Well, if your income stops the second you stop working, you don't own a business. You just own a really, really stressful job.
So, if being the technician is the trap, what's the escape route? It's all about shifting your mindset from doing the work to building a system that does the work for you. It's time to build your own golden goose. Just look at this distinction. The technician is always trading time for money. The income is directly tied to their personal effort. The entrepreneur, on the other hand, invests their time up front to build a system, an asset, that generates income all by itself, whether they're working or not. And look, these assets can take a lot of different forms. Sure, they can be traditional investments, like stocks or real estate. Or it could be a business that you've engineered to run like a Swiss watch, just operating smoothly whether you're there or on a beach somewhere. This is your goose that lays the golden eggs. And what's the point of all this? Well, the ultimate goal here is financial freedom. And that's not just about having tons of money. It's about having the choice. It's the ability to live the life you actually want, on your own terms, without being forced to trade your time just to get a paycheck.
And all this brings us full circle, right back to the one question that you really need to be asking yourself constantly. What is my hour worth?
Our source leaves us with a really powerful challenge. The next time you find yourself about to trade a big chunk of your time for a tiny amount of money, just stop, pause for a second, and ask yourself, honestly,
Is my life really only worth this?
So I'll leave you with this one last thought to try and make this real for you. After hearing all this, what is one thing, just one, that you're now going to consciously stop wasting your time on? Because recognizing that invisible tax, well, that's the first and most critical step to finally stop paying it.